Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, an overwhelming yes. Thousands of Alberta healthcare workers vote in favor of a strike. No stone left alone, how students are learning about the importance of Remembrance Day. And revealing hidden treasures, a new gallery showcasing millions of the U of A's artifacts.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
Healthcare workers, including licensed practical nurses, have voted 98% in favor of strike action. 70% of the more than 15,000 eligible AUPE members cast a ballot over the 5-day voting period, which ended Monday. CTV's Brendan Purdy joins us in studio now with the latest. Brendan, what can you tell us about the current situation?
Well, Matt, a potential strike would be province-wide, although essential services would remain intact. The province is offering a 12% wage hike over 4 years, while the union wants LPNs to receive a raise equal to 84% of what registered nurses make. AUPE's negotiator Kim Thompson says that's consistent with the scope of practice under the Health Professions Act. Thompson adds that at least 10 to 12% more healthcare workers need to be hired to fill the AHS's current vacancy rate. The two sides will return to the bargaining table tomorrow until Sunday. Recent negotiations between the province and teachers union, including the use of the notwithstanding clause, has left a sour taste in the AUPE's mouth.
I have no doubt that that was the intent of the government is to interfere with bargaining as much as they can and to create an environment where we don't trust the employer.
Trust is important in negotiations, and if healthcare workers are under the impression that that the government is not willing to negotiate, it's simply going to state its position and legislate people back to work if they don't agree with the government's position. Again, that's problematic because it doesn't have the support of the majority of Albertans.
Even though it was just used to bring teachers back to the classroom, Alberta's finance minister doesn't believe that these negotiations will result in the use of the notwithstanding clause.
I've said it many times, there's a very specific situation. 2 levels of bargaining, kids already out of class for 3 weeks. It is highly unlikely that you would ever need to be used in a situation where you have a single-tier bargaining unit and it's an essential service.
The union says if members do strike, it would be scheduled on a rotation to ensure Albertans still receive the necessary health care. The union could serve strike notice as soon as Monday, November 17th, and begin striking 72 hours later on the 20th. Matt?
All right, Brendan Purdy live in studio tonight. Thank you. University of Alberta students are showing their support for teachers. The Education Students Association organized a rally. They want to send a message they agree with what teachers were demanding before they were ordered back to work. Among the crowd, students who want to become teachers themselves.
It's a way for students to kind of be involved in what teachers are already involved in, just to kind of show their support and solidarity for teachers. And yeah, for pre-service teachers, this is a kind of way to give them that hope and that solidarity that we're right with them.
People attending the rally were also opposed to the provincial government's use of the notwithstanding clause to end the teacher strike and impose a contract. Edmonton Mayor Andrew Knack says he's excited about what the federal budget could mean for the city. Provincial legislation means any dollars from Ottawa must first flow through the Alberta legislature. During a morning press conference outside City Hall, the mayor said he's eager to learn more about how Edmonton will benefit from federal programs in yesterday's budget. Knack says with Edmonton growing so quickly, it needs funding help in many areas to keep up. That includes public transit, new roads, bridges, fire halls, and maintaining existing infrastructure. The federal budget includes billions of dollars for cities and towns to build housing and community projects. Alberta's Provincial Priorities Act prevents direct deals between Ottawa and Alberta municipalities.
There's no world in which municipalities have a direct relationship with the feds without us having a part in that conversation. We want to see these dollars benefit municipalities. They also need to align with provincial priorities.
Minister Dan Williams says the act has been working as intended for more than a year. Mayor Knack hopes the process won't delay federal funding for Edmonton, as there is an immediate need in many areas. The province has no plans to match city dollars for day shelter spaces for Edmonton's homeless. On Monday, City Council voted to spend $1 million to add day shelter capacity in Edmonton. Nack says the money is just a fraction of what's needed to address homelessness. He hoped other orders of government would chip in to help. Social Services Minister Jason Nixon says Edmonton shelters are properly funded and have adequate capacity ahead of winter.
I think the mayor's just wrong, and he should take some time to get briefed and come and see what shelter capacity is. We'll make the department available to him. It is the rules that shelters must be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Many shelters only allow clients inside at certain times. Nixon says there are more than 2,000 shelter spaces in Edmonton. Recent data shows they're about 3/4 full. The minister says Edmonton is welcome to add day shelter spaces on its own, and the province won't stand in the way. A series of construction site fires is raising concern among infill developers about the future of building in Edmonton. There have been 8 fires at construction sites in mature neighborhoods since September. Police are investigating them, including this one in Belgravia, as potential arsons. Infill proponents in the city say it would be unfortunate if construction was curbed over fears of fire. They say developers are worried with the unknown element being the most difficult to deal with.
People are still committed to going forward with the projects that they've got in the pipeline, but you know, we're going to be doing what we can to make sure that they're protected.
Whether it's increased patrols, whether it's other measures, I think we can't take chances, especially as the winter season gets colder.
The Edmonton Police Service, the city, and Edmonton Fire Rescue Services held a meeting with infill stakeholders this afternoon to discuss the situation and next steps. A celebration at Edmonton City Hall today for the new Chief of Police, Warren Dreichel. Today's change of command ceremony began with the police service band, pipes and drums, and an Indigenous song from the River Cree Singers. Chief Dreichel was given the position back in September after previously sharing the interim role with Devin LaForce. The pair were previously named co-interim chiefs following the departure of Dale McPhee. The 55-year-old Dreichel is the first internal member of the service to become police chief in more than 20 years.
And I considered it an incredible honor to lead as an internal chief who knows the city deeply. I will hold us accountable. I will work tirelessly to make people feel safer, because for me, this is personal. Edmonton shaped me into who I am today. I know what it offers, and I know what it means, and I know what it needs.
Dreichel is Edmonton's 24th police chief. A local donation drive for Jamaica has exceeded expectations. Organizers say they have more donations than barrels to ship the items. Jamaica was hit hard by Hurricane Melissa last month. Organizers say they started off with 15 barrels to fill with donations. They were filled within a day and a half. They now have 33 barrels full of donations, including toiletries, food, and baby supplies. Other items are still needed.
Right now, we have a need for tarps, hammers, nails, hardware supplies, really. You know, supplies that can allow people to rebuild, you know, because a lot of people have lost their homes, they've lost everything.
To donate, you can reach out to Mark Wallace through his Instagram page, Shot by Mark. Donations are being sent to 3 different organizations in Jamaica. All right, Josh, some snow on the way this evening.
Yeah, in fact, we're already seeing a little bit of precipitation in parts of the city. We've had reports of some snowflakes in a few neighborhoods, a bit of a rain-snow mix in other areas. It looks like it's coming down a little bit heavier here, and mostly as rain off to the southeast. It's a bit of a break, and then here comes the next wave. This is what we're really anticipating. This was just sort of a first little teaser wave that'll go through. South of the Edmonton area, this is going to mainly be rain, it looks like, tonight and into tomorrow morning. North of Highway 16, we could see some pretty significant snowfall accumulations from Peace Country down through Slave Lake, Whitecourt, and off into the Lloydminster, Bonnyville regions. We're going to be right on the edge of that here in Edmonton. So I do think we'll wake up to a bit of snow on the ground tomorrow morning, but it's probably no more than 1 to maybe 4 centimeters, and mostly on grassy areas. I think roadways are just primarily going to be wet, and in some spots a little bit icy, especially on bridge decks and overpasses. This probably is not going to be a really significant snowfall for the city. -6 this morning, 5 degrees for a daytime high this afternoon, 2 degrees above average. Temperatures right now still at 5 degrees. And the wind, after being pretty gusty for most of the day, has started to back off, at least in the city. We still have some gusts close to 50 south of the city and around 40 kilometers per hour off to the northwest of the Edmonton area. Here's how the next 24 hours play out. Temperatures right around the freezing mark through this evening and overnight tonight. Rain-snow mix, eventually changing over to some snow. That snow will continue through tomorrow morning, and the wind, which will be gusty through the early evening hours, will continue to die off and should be pretty light through most of the day tomorrow. I think by about lunchtime, the snow is pretty much done, and then it's just cloudy and cool tomorrow afternoon with the daytime high just barely above 0. Cool again for Friday and Saturday. Could see some more snow as well on Friday. Those details in a couple minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, vanishing ghost bikes, why motorcycle memorials are at risk of disappearing in Edmonton.
Programming brought to you by Basement Systems Edmonton. Contact us today for all things basement-y. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
The white motorcycles, known as ghost bikes throughout Edmonton, are at risk of vanishing. The bikes are meant to be a memorial for motorcyclists killed and remind all drivers to pay attention on the road. There are 5. This one is in a permanent location on the Anthony Henday, plus 4 others that move between crash sites. Over the past 6 years, all expenses for the ghost bikes have come out of the pocket of Corey Bacon, something he says he just can't afford anymore.
The times have been getting hard for everybody, and it's getting really hard to do this as well. Like, we're looking at thousands of dollars every year.
We just feel like we're close to him here. He passed away like right there on the road, and we just, I don't know, it's just been cathartic. We've been able to write little messages to him, and we just come out here sometimes and just sit just to feel that he's here with us.
The ghost bike in memory of Joshua Verbeek has a big impact on his family. They're planning a memorial golf tournament and donating the proceeds to Bacon. He's raised enough money through a GoFundMe page to keep the ghost bike initiative going for at least one more season. Students are getting the opportunity to reflect and honor the memories of the people who fought and died for our country. As CTV's Gates Warren reports, the tradition of No Stone Left Alone keeps soldiers' names and actions alive for future generations.
The last post plays over a quiet crowd at Beachmount Cemetery. These children are not just paying their respects to those who died fighting for Canada, they're also making sure their names will never be forgotten.
How we remember the soldiers, and that even though sometimes we forget about them, we should always remember how they fought for us and that they matter.
Students lay poppies on soldiers' headstones and were also able to speak with veterans.
I had a flight in the F-18.
What they take away is the appreciation for the lives we live in Canada and the service and sacrifice of the Canadian Armed Forces. And hopefully they take it to their communities and to their family members.
That includes the contributions of Indigenous communities.
When you hear the stories of some of the Indigenous soldiers and sailors and aviators that supported the Canadian Armed Forces, they're just part of our family, and we respect everyone that served.
Former medical reservist Patrick Breckenridge says it means a lot to know his name will continue to be spoken, even without kids of his own.
This, where somebody actually says something, says a name, reads the name, you know, they may never know him, really know what his or her service was, but it's still important. So it's kind of, that's always in the back of my mind, especially now that I'm getting older.
He adds teaching the next generation ensures the sacrifices made by military members, past and present, are not in vain.
When the youth are involved, we teach young Canadians to remember, and we're not just honoring the past, we're protecting the future. So every poppy that's laid, every name that gets spoken, it keeps that promise that no stone and no soldier will ever be left alone.
Laying poppies and saying names aloud, not lost on these students who continue to learn about the people who fought for their country. Gates Gorin, CTV News, Edmonton.
Still to come tonight on CTV News, We Will Choir You, a show featuring Queen's biggest hits, is coming to Edmonton.
The show is about as interactive a show as you could possibly be at.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
If you like having a good time,
sing that better than that
I don't want to lose any viewership. An interactive musical experience is coming to the Winspear Center next Thursday the 13th. Choir is presenting the We Will Choir You, an epic Queen sing-along. The performance features the music of iconic rock band Queen, if you hadn't figured it out by now. Directors will lead the audience through a sing-along of the band's greatest hits. The audience is encouraged to join in and is considered part of the experience.
The conversation about like why these songs matter. So we're always communicating with the audience between songs when we're teaching them. We build harmonies throughout the show and create a sense of togetherness, through music, through laughter, through anything we need to do to engage the audience, we do. So the show is about as interactive a show as you could possibly be at. It's cool. The show is super fun. It's a really fun one.
Choir has 4 tour dates in Edmonton with other shows in Red Deer, Calgary, and Lethbridge. Josh, don't let me stop you now. That's another Queen song, by the way. More snow on the way for, our first snowfall in Edmonton.
Yeah. This will not be the snowfall that sticks around for the rest of the winter, though. We may have some snow on the ground. In fact, we'll probably have some snow on the ground as we enter the weekend, but by the end of the weekend and early Monday, it should all be gone. There's a nice little warm-up early next week. There's the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace fixed radar, it's free. 5 degrees, cloudy skies, and in parts of the city, a little bit of precipitation. -1s here off to the northeast. Still 4 degrees in Grand Prairie and 4 as well in Red Deer, where you do have some rain falling in and around the Red Deer region. Snow west, north, and northwest of the Edmonton area. Showers here. As we said, south of Highway 16, this is mostly going to be rain through this evening and overnight tide. There'll be a couple pockets here, especially in east central Alberta. We're right along Highway 16. You do deal with some snow. And in Edmonton, we're going to be right on the edge of this. Watch how this plays out. There's your snow zone, north, northwest, and east of the Edmonton region. We're right on the edge of this. And, the models are having a really tough time with whether this is going to be rain or rain-snow mix or just flat-out snow. I do think on grassy areas, especially tomorrow morning, there will be at least a bit of accumulation. It's probably not going to be anything really all that significant. And roadways, as we said, are probably just wet, slick, and in some spots a little icy. Here's 7 a.m. Thursday. Better chance overnight and into the early morning hours of Thursday to see this completely flip over to snow. But again, just south of the city, this is probably more like a rain-snow mix or just showers. This is where you're going to pick up most of your accumulating snow, though, maybe 5 to 10 centimeters off to the north of the Edmonton region. And you can see by about lunchtime or early afternoon, snow's done. Just cloudy and cool through tomorrow afternoon. Watch the next system. This one will be a little further south. So Red Deer areas get a good chance for a couple centimeters of snow. There will be a little finger here of snow that stretches back, a little tail off of this snow system that stretches back to the northwest that could produce a couple centimeters of snow through the afternoon hours on Friday. But I think the best chance for accumulation, at least here in the city, comes overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning. Let's take you through to tomorrow afternoon. There's the bulk of the accumulating snow in the darker blue zones, maybe 5 to 10 centimeters in a few pockets. And then we'll take you through Friday. You can see how that really targets primarily areas south of the Edmonton region. So we're on the edge of both of those systems here in the city. -6 in Fort McMurray, -2 in Grand Prairie, as well as Red Deer tomorrow morning. Should be around -2 for a high in Fort McMurray tomorrow. 2 degrees in Grand Prairie. Snow continues right through into the afternoon hours in east central Alberta. Whereas here in the Edmonton region and further to the west, it'll back off earlier in the day. Red Deer, 5 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. -2 tomorrow morning. Not a lot of mercury movement there. 1's 9 p.m., midnight, and 1 for a daytime high tomorrow afternoon. A calmer day on the way for tomorrow as well, with snow tapering off by midday. Absolute final deadline in the Mighty Millions Lottery is midnight Friday. Get your tickets at mightymillionslottery.com, and you could win the $2.5 million grand prize package. It includes the house and $100,000 cash. Snow tonight. Snow into tomorrow morning, cloudy in the afternoon. Another chance of some snow there Friday, but then 2 degrees Saturday. Sunshine comes back out for Sunday, Monday, and we're back close to double digits by Monday of next week.
All right, Josh, thank you. When we return, a growing gallery, the U of A preparing to showcase millions of pieces of previously hidden objects.
Or I've heard people say, oh, I had no idea. I had no idea that we had those things at the university.
Thursday, the doctor is in, busting some skincare myths, what works and what's worthless. Plus, we'll help you navigate the morning commute after the first snowfall of the season.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by Superheroes and Blockbusters with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Still ahead on CTV News at 6, part 3 of the crime tapes. CTV's David Owasik has a look at the trial of Michael White, accused of killing his wife 20 years ago. Also ahead, a Salvation Army survey shows Alberta is leading the way when it comes to job insecurity and affordability concerns. And reaction to the provincial government rejecting a major funding increase request from Alberta elections. Those stories and more on CTV News at 6 with Nara Manisa. The University of Alberta is building a new gallery to showcase millions of objects that were previously hidden away. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has a sneak peek at some of the treasures you'll be able to see.
This is just a small sample inside the University of Alberta's vast art collection. It holds more than 10 million unique objects.
They actually all have stories.
The U of A's art will be moving to a new home, 5 times larger than its current gallery. It's a chance for the public to see and learn something new.
I've heard people say, oh, I had no idea. I had no idea that we had those things at the university or in Edmonton or in Alberta or in Canada even.
Construction on the new 1,500 square meter gallery began in July. It will be located inside the Telecenter on the school's north campus, shining a new light on some previously hidden pieces.
This is so much possibility with 30 collections on campus that cover from art to zoology and everything in between.
It's not just paintings and prints. There are also pieces of clothing and artifacts, including this Greater Prairie chicken, which is extinct in Canada.
By having a specimen, we can still learn about them, but we can also do research of why did they disappear from Canada.
The new space will also be for students to engage in workshops and events. No matter what you want to see and experience, the university says there's something for everyone to enjoy.
One exhibition we have in the gallery may not interest a certain group of people. They may just be like, oh, it's not for me. But I have a feeling that over time there will be something for everyone.
Entry to the gallery will be free, giving more people an opportunity to see the wonders inside.
This gallery and the content and the knowledge to happen without anybody having to pay for that.
The gallery is expected to open in early 2027. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.